A high school stadium not big enough to house what they expect to be a big crowd tonight, so SMU's Ford Stadium the site for a huge game in District 7-6A. Winner has a chance to earn a district title. Highland Park and Jesuit on Friday Night Football. And with that, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here at SMU's Hilltop Gerald Ford Stadium. Mike Leslie alongside the former Lincoln High and Kansas State linebacker Heckma Harrison. Heckma, there is a crowd expected for this football game tonight. They had 14,000 seats sold in advance, let alone who's going to walk up to the gate and make their way in here to Ford Stadium. It's going to be bumping tonight on the Hilltop.
This is a Texas high school football game, and you just said 14,000. They've coined it the tollway tussle, so obviously something special playing tonight.
Now, preseason, these two teams looked like they were the favorites to win District 7-6A, but it has gotten topsy-turvy in 7-6A already this season. Lake Highlands upset both of these teams a couple weeks ago, and then Berkner upset Lake Highlands. So, because of that Berkner win over Lake Highlands, now both of these teams are right back in it because they both have Berkner in front of them. Winner of this football game, if they can beat Berkner, then sets up the possibility of a three-way tie. So that really helped both of these teams to put everything back on the table.
So Highland Park beat, I mean, you're going back and forth with the matchup. There's really no way to gauge this. All of these teams in this district are really talented, and you're right. So much playoff implication in this game tonight, and these are two teams that are very familiar with one another, especially with the close proximity of the communities. But, man, this is going to be a barn burner of a game today, especially with the way that Jesuit plays. And, again, the district is up for grabs, and everyone's looking at tonight's game.
Tonight's game, Heckma, we think anyway, is going to be impacted significantly by pace. Jesuit wants to move up and down the field with as much pace as possible, and if they can, that's beneficial for them through the length of the game.
No, absolutely, and that's the thing that they want to do. They want to tire out this Highland Park defense. They have a quarterback that obviously is all-world. We're going to talk about, don't want to get ahead of that, but I just know that the pace that they're going to be going with tonight is going to be one that the Scots are definitely going to have to try and keep pace, and hopefully these guys are in shape.
For Highland Park, it does begin with their quarterback, and it's a quarterback battle tonight. Both these QBs can go. For Highland Park, it's their senior Warren Peck, and this kid can do it in a multitude of ways.
Yeah, Warren Peck, 6'5", 220 pounds, and when we talked with his head coach, Coach Allen, he just raved about this kid and the improvements that he made over the summer. He's like, look, I saw this kid when he came returned here in the fall, didn't even recognize him. That's how good of shape he's in, and he's their leading rusher as well. So a lot on number 12's shoulders. He's going to have to show up big here tonight.
Meanwhile, for Jesuit Dallas, the Rangers quarterback, just a junior, but Charlie Peters can sling the football around, the leading passer in North Texas in 6A.
He's outstanding. He really is. He is outstanding, cutting edge as a quarterback, a guy that can make all of the throws, and just a special talent. They go with that hurry-up offense, and they challenge you on your personnel. So keep your eyes on number 9, Charlie Peters. Again, just a very special product here in DFW.
They are going to try and move up and down the field as fast as they possibly can. Snap it quickly, tire out the defense. That's how they've come back in a lot of their games this year and last year. They scored 28 fourth-quarter points last year against Highland Park to make it a 7-point game late. They came back for a 60-59 win over Rockwall in week 2 of this season, and they did it in come-from-behind fashion, 26 second-half points in that game. They wear defenses down, and they have more success late in the game as a result.
No, they do, but obviously Coach Hickman knows that they have to start fast today. They can't do like they did in their last matchup where they came from behind. They can't do that, relying on their defense. They put way too much pressure on their defense last year. That's why it's important to start quick and in a hurry, and Peters has to be the catalyst for that.
Meanwhile, for Highland Park, their defense in the middle in particular is very talented. They're going to try anyway to slow down this Jesuit offense. On the flip side, Jesuit, I think, is going to have difficulty slowing down this Highland Park offense. They are a well-oiled machine, and I think they've got some size on Jesuit at a couple of different key positions. Jesuit's going to need to be, I think, hunting for turnovers a little bit tonight.
No, when you talk about the defensive matchup, I look over at Highland Park defensively, a guy by the name of Henry Richter. Watch him. He's an edge rusher. He's the one that can cancel Christmas for Jesuit, okay? He's really good, a kid that is built like a tank. And, again, I think it's going to be him and their linebackers that are going to have some significant games to slow down their Rangers offense.
The combined wealth here tonight at SMU is akin to that of a small country's GDP. There are tons of SUVs here in the parking lot. And, oh, by the way, we've got a pretty good football game in front of us as well. Highland Park and Jesuit coming your way next on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
From Gerald Ford Stadium in Dallas on the campus of SMU, Highland Park and Jesuit in a huge game within district play on Friday Night Football. Head coaches tonight for the visiting Highland Park Scots, Randy Allen on your screen, 25th year with the Scots, the second winningest head coach in Texas high school football history. Meanwhile, for Jesuit, Brandon Hickman in his 13th year with the Rangers. A win tonight would give him win number 100 of his career. If I saw correctly, I believe Jesuit won the toss and deferred, so it will be Highland Park ball to start. Heckma Harrison, Jesuit's defense is going to have to go right to work tonight.
You know, and I think they would have it no other way, getting it in the second half. You think about where they were last season after you said, look, they were up by 35 points in the first half. Maybe that's a kind of a dedication to that last year's game, saying that, look, if we are behind, we do feel like we'll get the ball to begin the second half. No one plans to be behind in the game, but maybe a strategic move there by Jesuit.
So for the Rangers, it will be Noah Magoo to kick it off. Big leg on this kid. They feel like he's got range out to about 52 if they need to kick field goals, and they've kicked some field goals this season, including some game winners off the foot of number 17. Deep for Highland Park to return. Steele Tobin, Parker Thompson, and Wilson Axley. Looks like Brian Rapp is deep as well, and the big boot well over the head of everybody. A touchback, and out comes Warren Peck, the senior quarterback, and this Highland Park offense. Grayson Wells, their offensive coordinator. Randy Allen calls the plays. It will be fun to watch the cat and mouse game tonight between Randy Allen and the defensive coordinator from Jesuit, Don Woods, who not that long ago was the defensive coordinator at Highland Park when they were winning state championships a few years back.
It really is the familiarity for me. These two programs know each other well, not only from a community standpoint, but coaching standpoint as well. That cat and mouse, that chess game is going to play out early.
So 1st and 10 from the 25 for Peck in shotgun. Quick swing pass to the near side for Wilson. Actually, it looked like it was going to be a trick play. Actually, he's going to have to try and make something happen, and is he ever making something happen? 1st down and then some on what could have been a loss of 5.
Boy, they are lucky on that play because you're right. They had some trickeration going on there. Busted it was Cade Gill. Coach Hickman called him the Red Hulk. I couldn't wait to get here to see a guy named the Red Hulk. All right, but like you said, it was almost a 5-yard loss, but actually turns it into a positive yard and a 1st down.
Actually a super talented running back who will see a number of carries tonight, including this one right here as he picks his way forward for 3 after a run of 15 to start the football game.
Yeah, this offensive line for Highland Park is really big, as you see Highland Park going right back to the line of scrimmage.
HP playing with some pace here early on. Quick throw near side, complete right at the sticks and out of bounds with a 1st down is Steele Tobin.
And I love it. Here you see it right away. A little bit of gamesmanship, pace being issued here by the Scots. No huddle, quick tempo.
Again, a quick screen, far side for Steele Tobin. Tunnel screen opens up nicely for him. Ripped down just shy of the line to gain by Robert Prager, but it's going to be 2nd and 1.
I love that play because if you looked on both sides, they had the screen set up on both sides to kind of confuse this Rangers defense, but still Tobin carrying the load right now for the Scots.
We appreciate you joining us tonight on the WFAA YouTube channel, WFAA Plus, and WFAA.com. If you're on the YouTube feed, let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from tonight. 2nd down and 1. Again, actually with the handoff, hunting for the outside. He's got the 1st down as he cuts up field inside the 40 to the 36. And another chain-moving run from Wilson Axley, who has been the offense thus far for the Scots.
Yeah, now, and just right away, I could tell you, actually at 5'10", 195 pounds, man, great vision and ability to explode outside of the tackles. Just talking about this big offensive line, number 75, the left tackle, Hill Greenlee, 6'9", 285 pounds.
6'9".
God, wow, that's a big person.
1st and 10 right at the 35-yard stripe here for Warren Peck. Hands off this time for Keller Holmes, who ends up with 4 on the play.
Tell you what, big Keller Holmes, one of my favorite, man, a guy that is also a lacrosse player for the Scots. He is a mean dude and fast also.
You know this Highland Park lacrosse program about as well as anybody.
I do.
Does he play attack, midfield?
He's a midi.
Okay. Well, option look here from Peck. Pitch out to Keller Holmes, but this time strung out nicely by the Jesuit defense. Maybe a gain of a yard.
Yeah, my man Keller, I'm telling you, great feet on him and great vision. First time for me getting an opportunity to see these guys that are lacrosse players also play football, and I'm telling you, it's amazing to see the correlation between their athleticism on the field playing football and also as lacrosse players. It definitely does transfer, because I'm telling you, you see that right now from Keller Holmes, his ability right there in the short area quickness.
I have always been a proponent of, if you got a kid who plays football and needs a spring sport, there's no better option than lacrosse. Good tackle, ball loose. Bounces backward, and that's going to cost Highland Park a good couple yards of field position as well, as they were close to the line to gain. But after Frederick Lucky popped the ball loose, it's going to be 4th down and 5. Make it 4th and 6 as they set the line of scrimmage at the 36-yard line.
Now, come on, Keller. I'm doing all this bragging on you up here, man. Don't do me like that, man. But I tell you, both of these squads have some great athletes, as you saw right there. poking that ball out to bring up a big 4th down here early.
4th and 6, they've got to get to the 25. Peck rolling out, has a man open, flips it over the top, and just enough for the first down for Keller Holmes.
But how about the patience right there from number 12, Warren Peck, waiting on Keller Holmes to get to the sticks before he threw that ball. He was open for a good split second before he actually delivered the pass.
So Highland Park converts on the 4th and 6 and continues this drive that began at their own 25-yard line. Now inside the 25 in Jesuit territory, 3.5 minutes into this one. 3 wides to the right for Peck here on 1st and 10. Quarterback draw. Peck's got some speed, gets to the outside, stiff arms his way inside the 20 to a big cheer from the Highland Park student section on the far side.
And I'm telling you, this crowd is filling in, but what a stiff arm right there from Warren Peck to number 54, Grayson Wambacher, a guy that we've been looking for this matchup because Wambacher is going to get a lot of number 12 in his face, the leading rusher for the Highland Park Scots. So we've talked about Keller Holmes, but the leading rusher for this team is their quarterback.
You saw a shot there of that Highland Park student section, the white out tonight from the Scott students. They like that stiff arm from big 6'5" Warren Peck. 2nd down and 4, quick inside handoff here. Nice move by Axley to get to the outside. Flag behind the play as Axley makes his way in for the touchdown. But the flag at the 20-yard line in the vicinity of a hold. And we'll check the flag. That is indeed the case.
And that is unfortunate. I think they are going to get this on number 5, Keller Holmes, trying to help Axley catch the edge. Axley had a two-way go and chose.
And you hit it spot on. The foul announced by Rick Ford, our referee tonight. It was indeed a hold on Keller Holmes. Take the touchdown off the board and bring the football back to the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
And all I was saying is that he chose to go outside instead of cutting it inside, and maybe that is what caused the holding penalty on Keller.
Second down and 13 now for Peck. 2 wides to the right, 2 backs, 1 to either side. Peck looking deep up the left sideline. Single coverage behind the defense, knocked away. In and out of the hands of his intended target, Parker Thompson, who's also their backup quarterback.
Yeah, that's a good pass. I think Warren Peck put some air under it, but just led him more to the sideline. And a lot of time when you're trying to track that ball and trying to figure out where you are in proximity to the out of bounds marker, maybe that was what caused them not to catch the ball. But either way, it's going to bring up a big 3rd down here for HP.
We talked about Highland Park and how their defense was going to have to bow up in key moments tonight. This is one of them already, just 4 minutes and 1 second into the football game. 3rd and 13. Peck pressured off both edges, steps up, going to try and run for it, makes a man miss. Peck inside the 20, and he's going to make 4th down an awful lot more manageable here. A scramble for 10, and it'll be 4th and 3.
How did Warren Peck get out of the grasp of number 8? Bobby Musso. Musso looked like he had him dead to rights, and Peck makes a move to make him miss. And this is going to bring up a 4th down, and Allen not even thinking about it. He's going for it here on 4th down.
They do feel like Nick Regas has got this range out to about 35, maybe a little more, but they go for it again. 4th and 3, Peck rolling out, looking, scanning, nowhere to go. Peck bottled up and taken down. Jesuit with the sack. Chris Symington leading the charge, and the Rangers make the stop.
The senior nose guard, Chris Symington. Boy, look at the big fella right there. This is clinical. Look at him get his hands inside of the blocker. And, man, I tell you what, that's just a complete rush right there and whiff. And Symington coming in for the tackle. That was the whole Ranger squad in there for the sack. That's a big 4th down, and I tell you, that was all coverage on the back end.
So Jesuit makes the stop and takes over at their own 21-yard line, and they're going to go trickery on the first play of the game with the reverse, looking deep downfield. Man is open. Down the field goes Jack Yeski.
And to open the game, they come right out with the reverse pass. They mean business. Coach Hickman is playing for all the marbles right now.
Quick throw near side. Skips short of the intended target, Quentin Williams, but Jesuit, their offensive coordinators, John Livingstone and Patrick Radigan, they work in conjunction with the head coach, Brendan Hickman, who does call the plays. And did they ever pull out the stops on play number 1 of the football game?
And if number 81 can keep his balance, he takes that all the way to the house.
Second down and 10 at the 42 in Highland Park territory. Open territory on the near sideline, outside the numbers. Complete to Jaeger Krause, and that'll move the chains.
How about that pass from Charlie Peters? It's that ball on a rope, basically. Ball's on the far side hash, just showing you the strength of the arm of the junior, Charlie Peters. Very impressive. A lot of times when you see the numbers, you see the name and not have an opportunity to actually be in the stadium and see the athletic ability of these quarterbacks. Man, that's impressive start right now. And man, number 9 is as advertised.
A kid who threw for 6 touchdown passes in their upset of Rockwall earlier this year. A little flip pass here this time for Harlan Buechler. The JV call up, just a sophomore, big-time speedster. They're going to try and get him the football in space tonight.
We talked to his position coach before the game, and he said, I looked in the eyes of that kid. He looked like he was ready. We're going to need him to play tonight. That's a big-time call-up. I tell him, hey, you're on JV. You better stay ready. You don't know when your opportunity's coming.
A gain of 2 on the play, second down and 8. Peters, the quarterback, the starter on JV all last season, now taking the lead role on varsity, but that's going to be a false start on the near side by the wide receiver, Quentin Williams.
Yeah, they're going to get Quentin Williams. Quentin Williams had a monster game last week. 7 receptions, 157 yards. And if I see this correctly, 5 TDs?
You see it correctly, yes, sir.
Maybe that's a typo?
Nope.
That
is factual.
Balling out of control. Kid that broke his collarbone and his back. What a story.
Second down and 13 after the false start. Peters looking up the near sideline, going for Williams. No flag. He was hoping for one. No sign of one coming. Williams having to step up, as is this entire Jesuit receiving corps. Blake Bodner, Henry Beret, Dolan Hedrick, Jack Yeske we've already seen make a play tonight. They're all having to step up because of Cooper Cutler's injury that was suffered in the recent weeks. Torn ACL. He was their leading receiver through the first few games of this season, one of the leading receivers across North Texas early on this year, but done for the season with the torn ACL. And Quentin Williams with 5 touchdowns last week, I'd say that's stepping up. 3rd and 13, Peters still scanning, looking, pressured from behind, ball came out, popped right into the hands of a Scot. Highland Park football. Somewhere in the mass of humanity is a Scot with the football in his hands, and it's Jack Morse.
And Daniel Turner is trailing from behind, and Peters just doesn't feel him breathing down on him, causes the ball to come out. And that is just a tough break for the Rangers because they had all of the momentum in that first drive, seemingly getting into Scott's territory and looking as though they were about to get a score.
So it'll be 1st and 10. As you see there, Morse have the ball pop into his hand. 1st and 10 at the 39 as Highland Park takes back over. Peck. This kid can do an awful lot of damage with his legs. He's got 10 rushing scores as compared to his 6 passing touchdowns this year. Very, very dangerous with his feet.
No, he is, and I think he really is magical in that read option for Coach Allen.
Little flip near side this time in the hands of Keller Holmes, and that looks to be just enough to move the chains, and it is.
Keller Holmes just working out in the flat. And again, it's just the patience from Warren Peck allowing for Keller to get open. He knows that he has that one-on-one matchup with Wambacher.
Quick throw far side, that's picked off. Right in and out of the hands of a Scott receiver, and Jesuit picks it off. The bounces of the football in this first quarter, my word. And the interception by Sean Watson gives it back to the Rangers.
I told you we were in for a special night, and that's one that just hits his receiver right in the hands. It deflects right into the hands of a Rangers defender. And almost from where the interception, where the fumble was before, now they have an opportunity to the Rangers offense to make amends for that last turnover.
If Dak Prescott were watching this game, he'd be looking at Warren Peck and going, I feel you. I feel you. Good defensive play to start the possession, though, here by Highland Park, and it's going to be a loss of 5 as Zane Williams had nowhere to go.
No, Zane Williams, a big old back, man. He's a guy that hits the hole pretty hard, but there is nowhere to go. This Scots defense, they're clogging these lanes up.
Second down and 14 officially right at the midfield stripe. Jesuit lined up on that Mustang logo here at SMU's Gerald Ford Stadium. Peters over the middle, nearly intercepted as that ball was behind his intended target, Hedrick.
Yeah, and definitely a little behind, not even close on that pass, and lucky to be able to get that one back.
So it'll be 3rd and 14. Nowhere to go again for Zane Williams, the defensive front from Highland Park, up to the task here early on. And Jesuit, after the interception, I think anyway, is going to have to punt. They're still keeping Charlie Peters out there so far. This would be a decision.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting call, and it looks like they are going for it all at the 49-yard line. How about that gambling early?
They're going to quick kick it. Peters drops back a couple extra steps. Low snap. He's going to have to get it off. He does. Up the far sideline. Bounds inside the 20. This is going to work out very well for Jesuit. All the way down to the 1-2 line. Officially at the 2. There's a beanbag at the 4. It may have been first touched by Jesuit at the 4-yard line, but a terrific quick kick punt from Charlie Peters.
And I know we were just questioning were the Rangers going to go for it there on 4th down. Had us all fooled as they go back into punt formation and get a quick kick off and pin the Scots on the 4-yard line. Let's see if this defense can get a stop.
Somebody is frustrated down there on the near sideline.
Yes, they are.
You can hear one of the Jesuit assistant coaches talking to, I believe, the offensive line about a way to handle the inside backer. Love when our microphones can pick up the intimate details of what's happening down there.
Forgive. That's all we ask.
Under 3 minutes to play here in quarter number 1. 1st and 10 from the 4-yard line, and Peck is going to take it straight forward and lower his shoulder into the pile. Pushes forward to the 9, a gain of 5. Fans still pouring in here to Ford Stadium at SMU. The Jesuit Rangers, the designated home team for this game. It would have been at Ranger Stadium, but That place only holds about 4,500. Up the middle, nice run here from Keller Holmes to pick up the first down and get this Highland Park offense outside the 20-yard line to the 21. They knew, just based off of last year, the game at Highlander Stadium had about 12,500 was the estimate from Randy Allen when we talked to him earlier this week. They said, all right, if we're going to have that many people, let's see if we can put this game somewhere else. And SMU was happy to oblige, a logical location for these two schools to meet up. And here we are, filling up Ford Stadium. 1st and 10 at the 21, big hole left side. And a gain of 13 for Keller Holmes as he shoots through.
This offensive line for the Scots opening up these big holes for Keller Holmes. And as you see, he's not even getting any contact till he gets about 5 to 6 yards past the line of scrimmage. It's an awesome job up front. I think the other thing that's a problem right now for the Rangers is they are anticipating Warren Peck, his ability to run the ball in the RPO. You have to stay disciplined and make sure he isn't faking with the ball and trying to get out the back door. So the Rangers can't just pin their ears back and come after him and completely stop the run because of the danger that number 12 possesses.
1st and 10 at the 34. Quick throw far side, complete just shy of the sticks to Charles Schneider. Out of bounds at the 44-yard line. It'll be 2nd and a yard. No, they will say it's just enough to move the chains.
And right now, you've seen these routes out in the flat by Keller Holmes to move the sticks, and now Schneider. They're going with those out routes, but I tell you what, Randy Allen is trying to set something up down the field.
Press corners, flag on the play. It looks like it's going to be a false start on this Highland Park offensive line. Grayson Davenport, the offending party.
Stay tuned for the Friday Night Football halftime show sponsored by Golden Chick. Golden Chick is the perfect post-game destination. Come in and see why we say it's one taste and you're golden at Golden Chick.
On that Friday Night Football halftime show, we will see the Highlander band under the direction of Darren Jordan as Peck slings it over the middle, in and out of the hands of his intended target, incomplete, looking for Steele Tobin on the play. And the Jesuit Ursuline Ranger Band under the direction of Donovan Putnam. That's coming your way at halftime. Steele Tobin still down after the play here and seems to be in some pain.
I think he fell on the football on that last play. Hopefully he's okay. They definitely need him for this game.
Tobin able to get himself back to his feet. Certainly seems to be okay. It looked like his right arm may have been what they were looking at momentarily, but good to see him jog off under his own power. People still pouring in here at Ford Stadium. We're almost to the end of the first quarter, and this place is still filling up. Capacity here at Gerald Ford Stadium, 32,000 even. Certainly we're not going to see 32,000 people here tonight, but they told us earlier today they'd sold 13,900 tickets, and that was pre-sale.
Yeah.
Let alone how many folks may have walked up here over the course of the last 24 minutes since this game got started. It is going to be a large crowd here tonight on the hilltop. 2nd down and 15. And down he goes. It's Symington again coming through for the sack of Warren Peck.
And I love the way big number 92, Chris Symington, he is just a space eater in the middle of that defensive line, staying aggressive. But that's the thing about Peck. He's trying to step into that throw, and instead of stepping into that throw, he steps into the big number 92.
Sets up 3rd down and a mile. It says 3rd and 9 on the in-house scoreboard. It should read 3rd and 19 at least. Ball at the 35-yard line. Yeah, it should be 3rd and 19, not 9. They've got to get to the 46-yard line on Jesuit side of the field. They try and set up the screen here for Wilson Axley. Axley's got some running room, but won't have enough for the first down. Slung down out of bounds by Logan Thompson right at the midfield stripe. But that does create yet again a decision here for Randy Allen, as it will be 4th and 4.
Yeah, well, initially it looked like they had that set up to perfection for him to reach the first down marker. Thought maybe that there was a decision to make with the way that this offense had been moving out in space, but Randy Allen thinks better of it and decides to punt.
With 9 seconds remaining in the first quarter of a game that we thought might have been 48-45 was one of the theoretical scores thrown around pregame. It's 0-0 and we're almost through a full quarter. The punt from William Whitaker, racing forward and bobbling the catch momentarily, but hanging on to it for Jesuit is Jaeger Krause, and he's out across the 20-yard line to the 27. And that's where Jesuit will get started when we begin quarter number 2 here on the Hilltop. Jesuit in Highland Park, scoreless after 1 on Friday Night Football. Touchdown! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Bells versus Gunner. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7:30 on WFAA+.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkas.
Man, you could have sold me on a lot of potential scores at the end of the first quarter, but 0-0 was not on the list. That's where we are as we begin quarter number 2. Jesuit with possession, and the handoff right up the middle goes for 4. The handoff to Dolan Hedrick, one of their wide receivers, who also will take the occasional handoff. He does there. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage, as Jesuit is wont to do. Quick throw near side, complete in the hands of Jaeger Krause, and he's about a yard shy of the line to gain.
And look at this defensive line. You see them right back to the line of scrimmage, and that's what Peters presents, man. They are right back to the line of scrimmage in a hurry. And just like that, boy, this is it's going to be close on the measurement. I don't think he made it, Mike.
Yeah.
So maybe 4th and 1.
It's going to be 4th and a full yard.
They're
Jesuit,
going for it.
Are they going to quick kick again? They do have Peters back. Now races up to the line of scrimmage. He is going to try and go for it. They push the pile forward, and I think he's got the first down. The near side head linesman has got him at the 38-yard line. That's enough. First down, Jesuit.
And how about that? The Rangers with their version of the tush push to get the first down. But they do pick it up. But again, right back to the line of scrimmage. Now Charlie Peters is huddling. And I'm sure Highland Park will welcome that as they are able to make some substitutions.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line after the QB sneak from Peters. Quick roll near side, trying to find somewhere to go. Nice throw up the near side, nearly found Jaeger Krause for a leaping catch. I like the way that Peters Heckma is able to find pockets in the zone.
No, he really is, and he's trying to get that out route on the sideline, but not able to get it down low enough. And Jackson McGinley right there to put some pressure on that pass. Again, back at 2nd down. They're slowing it down a little bit, is Jesuit.
Yeah.
So I'm a little surprised by that.
Second down and 10. Peters with a 5 wide receiver set here. Looking far side, complete on the out route. He's got Hedrick, and Hedrick is to the 45-yard line. It will be 3rd down and 3.
Kid's got a beautiful arm. This Charlie Peters, man, it really comes off of his hands with some pop out in the flat. Again, another 3rd and short for the Rangers, but continuing to move the sticks.
3rd down and 3. Two wides to either side here for Peters. Looking far side, coming back to the ball to make the catch right at the sticks, short of the line to gain. The completion in the hands of Blake Bodner. It's going to be 4th down once again here for Jesuit.
That's Weston Geis right there at the cornerback position, driving on that pass. That's, I tell you what,
wait,
that's good awareness.
So is it a 1st down or not?
That should be 4th.
The initial spot had him short, but now where the football is, yeah, now they're saying 1st down.
Wow.
And I did see the far side line judge kind of giving this, the hand behind his head to the chain crew, saying, come on, move the chains.
All right.
He was pretty definitive at the jump, but the spot looked like it was going to be short.
Yeah, Randy Allen over there with a hand on his hip. He may have some questions about that one.
Handoff here for Zane Williams, and Zane Williams again with nowhere to go. Busting through for the stop is Daniel Turner.
Turner so far in this first half is having himself one heck of a game, not allowing these Rangers corners to capture the outside. That's a good job by your edge, by keeping contained.
So 2nd and 14 now. Jesuit has found themselves behind the chains a good bit here in this opening quarter and change. Pressure, and down goes Peters. Screaming off the edge for the sack is Clark Cosby.
And I tell you what, Lettner not going to allow for this quarterback to just sit back and pick him apart. He brings that linebacker coming off the edge. He's going to get that sack on the Rangers, bringing up now a big 3rd down.
3rd down and 20. They've got to get to the 42 on Highland Park side of the field to move the chains. Peters looking to the sideline. They switch the play up. 2 wides to either side. Highland Park rushes 3. Peters over the middle, knocked away. Good hands by Cosby to break it up as he had Jaeger Krause across midfield.
Good job by the linebacker, not climbing the back of the receiver, staying patient, getting his left hand in there at the last minute to deflect that pass. Great job by the Scots, holding up here and forcing the punt.
So on comes Dylan Drennan to punt it for Jesuit. We've seen Peters punt it on a quick kick once. That's a high snap. Drennan brings it down and gets off a line drive punt, taken at the 26-yard line. Tripped up by his own man is Wilson Axley. And there is a flag down after the play as well that looks like it's going to go against the Highland Park return team. Give you a look at the district standings in 7-6A. Berkner atop the table at 3-0 after they upset Lake Highlands a week ago. Lake Highlands upset Jesuit and Highland Park. The penalty was indeed on Highland Park, so that's going to take back a lot of the return yards there for Wilson Axley. But this is very interesting because as you see on the bottom of your screen there, the upcoming games. You got tonight's game, Highland Park and Jesuit, that is certainly pivotal and kind of feels like an elimination game as it relates to contention for a district championship. Having a second loss this early on, still having to play Berkner as both these teams do, that feels like you're out of contention for a district title. But the winner of this game, Heckma, because both of these teams play Berkner next. Highland Park plays Berkner next week. Jesuit has a bye week next week and then plays Berkner 2 weeks from now. So for both teams, Berkner is their next opponent. So they will have an opportunity to knock off the team that is presently on the top of the district standings and maybe get themselves back into the mix.
And that's when you start getting into kind of the murky water of district play, when they beat us, we beat them. Okay, they beat them, and it just goes on and on. But I think what you're basically alluding to is that Highland Park and Jesuit, they have their destiny still yet in their hands. And
yes,
it's all going to go through Berkner. I think if you're Jesuit, especially with a bye next week, you want to go into that bye with a victory and have everything to play for.
2nd down and 1. Peck going to the air, slinging it far side, single coverage, overshoots his man by about 10 yards.
And that's good coverage on the far side. Running step for step.
I am rather flabbergasted, Heckma Harrison, that we are 16 minutes and 12 seconds into this football game and we are yet to see a point.
Yeah, I am too, especially with both of these quarterbacks coming in. We had so much hope for, especially the Jesuit, the way that they run their offense, and knowing how Charlie Peters does that, run the ball. This is, at this point, this is anybody's game. Doesn't look like, hey, and we may go 0-0 into halftime the way that both of these defenses are playing right now.
So Peck driving his way through the Jesuit defense, picks up the first down. He'll go to the air once again, up the far side, complete in the air to Cannon Spackman, and they'll move the chains into Jesuit territory.
Well, at first you don't succeed, you try again. They go right back at number 2, Frederick Lucky, on the pass, and this time Lucky doesn't gauge the stop route to get the stop.
Couple of YouTube comments on our WFA YouTube channel. Aiden Johnston says Jesuit Ranger class of 2013, tuning in from Crested Butte, Colorado. Says, let's go boys, embrace the moment. Appreciate you tuning in, Aiden. 1st and 10, handoff coming near side for Wilson Axley, and Axley's got nowhere, beg your pardon, it's Holmes. And again, it's Chris Symington, the nose guard, who Heckma has had a fantastic first quarter and a half.
I'm trying to figure out, how do you get a young man that size running out that far to get a stop? That takes some heck of athleticism by Chris Symington. He's been all over the field in this first half.
Max Hembry in the YouTube comments says he's watching from the Reeds Spring and Silver Dollar City area. Says he's always been impressed with Texas high school football. You're not alone in that. Holly Allen says go Scots. Barrett Johnston in the comments as well, enjoying that last play. Quick throw near side, complete to Bryce Lekowski. Just shy of a first down. A dozen on 2nd and 13.
Well, that ball had some zip. Had some zip on it coming out of the hands of Warren Peck. And Highland Park, it's a good drive, a 3rd and short. But so far, a good drive for the Scots.
3rd down and 1 now for Peck with 2 backs, 1 to either side. He's going to keep it himself off left guard. He's got the first down and then some. Tough to bring down, 6'5", 220.
That's a big body you're trying to stop. I saw him pregame. We're standing there and everybody else comes out in their t-shirt and pants, and not Peck. He's fully dressed in pregame. Wonder if he slept in his uniform. This kid came ready to roll.
1st and 10 at the 19. Two wides to the right. Jesuit coming forward with press coverage, and they hand it off in the middle. Nothing doing, maybe a half yard. As again, it went to Keller Holmes.
And you see this Rangers defense playing tough inside. That's number 5, Logan Thompson and Grayson Wambacher. This linebacker group is going to have to be the difference and not allow for Keller Holmes and Wilson Axley to dice them up. You know they want to run in between the tackles, and that's going to challenge this linebacker group for the Rangers.
2nd and 9 after the gain of 1. Peck, QB draw, lots of room near side, lowers his shoulder, bowls his way through 2 blue jerseys. Down to the 11, it'll be 3rd and 2.
And I just talked about this linebacker group, and again, when it comes down to the RPO, you're looking at him put the ball into the stomach of the running back and pull it out at any time. You have to stay disciplined. And what that does sometimes as a linebacker or even a defensive lineman, your eyes in the backfield. So look right now for the Scots to be looking to throw the ball because they've had plenty of balance here in the run game.
Third down and 2. Peck gonna run the option near side. Fakes the pitch, cuts upfield. Peck inside the 5, and he scores. Ball came out at the end, but they're saying no. Touchdown. He was in first before that ball came in. No question from the near side linesman, and it is indeed touchdown Highland Park.
Yeah, ball came out at the end, but not before Warren Peck broke the plane. And there you have a 6'5", 220-pound quarterback carrying 2 defenders on his back into the end zone. That's an impressive drive by the Highland Park Scots.
Warren Peck faking the option pitch and carrying it in for the touchdown. The extra point up and through off the foot of Nick Regas, and it is 7-0 in favor of the Scots. Warren Peck strikes first, and it's 7-0 Highland Park on Friday Night Football.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
And stay tuned for the Friday Night Football halftime show sponsored by Golden Chick. Golden Chick is the perfect post-game destination. Come in and see why we say one taste and you're golden at Golden Chick.
7-0 Highland Park as we approach halftime. 3:33 left here in quarter number 2. Warren Peck, the senior quarterback for the Scots, striking first with an 11-yard touchdown run. And now Highland Park set to kick it away. Nick Regas sending it into the end zone, and out to the 25 it will come for Charlie Peters and this Jesuit offense. They like to stay high tempo, but we've seen, at least at moments in this first half, they've actually decided to huddle. They've actually decided to slow things down a little bit. Both these teams a bit more methodical than maybe we expected them to be tonight. And here we are in a 7-0 football game late second quarter when it could have easily been 28-all at this point.
No, absolutely. I think it's a testament to both of these defenses. And both of these systems are so very familiar with one another. And how about this?
Up the far sideline, complete across midfield. Cutting through the defense. What a catch and run here by Dolan Hedrick down inside the 25.
Charlie Peters, a magician with the football on the reverse, on the fakes. And who does he catch? Dolan Hedrick running in between the numbers and the hash. A beautiful pass, play design. And like you said, Mike, this is uncustomary for a Jesuit. They're slowing it down a little bit, standing around the line of scrimmage or standing in the huddle, as opposed to going right to the line of scrimmage and running the play.
I wonder how much of this is impacted by where we are in the half, and they don't want to give Highland Park a chance here late in the second quarter. They set up the screen pass. Good cut back by Zane Williams. Zane Williams down inside the 10. It's 1st and goal for the Rangers.
Zane Williams, number 22, just a big body, and you see them get him out in space on that design screen. It's a great job being patient. Are the Rangers right now.
Shout out to the YouTube commenter Kathy Cutler. Cooper Cutler's grandmother says Cooper's grandparents are watching but missing watching him play.
Yeah.
He's the young man we told you about earlier that had the torn ACL. Our thoughts go out to Cooper Cutler. You hate to see a senior year cut short by that. Kathy, we appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Good run here by Peters. Continued to push the pile inside the 5 to the 3.
And I just want to say to Mrs. Cutler, our heart goes out to your grandson. Hey, I was injured my senior year as well. I know it's a bummer, but things will work out. So our prayers are with him in his spirits.
He was off to a fantastic start in his senior year, one of the leading receivers in North Texas. A key piece of that come-from-behind win over Rockwall, 60-59 in week 2. The receiving corps having to step up around him now. Peters with the little trickeration here over the middle, complete for the touchdown. And it's Cade Gill on the receiving end, one of their key defensive players, hauling in the touchdown grab for Jesuit.
I love the play design. They go with an overload backfield. Fake like they're going to get the handoff with the defensive line. Symington, number 92, is lined up in there and throw it right over the top of the defense for the score. The Rangers answer pretty quickly.
2 minutes and 10 seconds after Highland Park found the end zone, the Rangers do the same. Extra point up and through. And Peters with his 18th touchdown pass of the year, this time to Cade Gill, the defensive end. And Jesuits on the board, tied at 7, late second quarter on Friday Night Football.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
7-7 our score, late second quarter at a full and getting fuller Ford Stadium.
Yes, it is.
Here on the hilltop. I mean, listen, we're not going to have 32,000 people here tonight. That would truly be quote-unquote full, but this place is filling up for a high school football game. This is how we do it here in Texas. Kids hanging over the wall on the far side that you can see in the shot right now. And we got a 7-7 game to match between Highland Park and the Jesuit Rangers. We appreciate you guys being with us tonight on WFAA Plus and the WFAA YouTube channel. If you're part of the 836 that are watching with us on the YouTube channel right now, please click the like button, click the subscribe button here on the WFAA YouTube channel, as we will bring you a high school football game each week here on WFAA's digital network. Next week on Friday Night Football, a real good one. 2 of the top 3A Division II teams in the state. Number 1 Gunner hosting number 9 Bells. That game is 7:30, just a little under exactly a week from today. 7-7 as Peck takes back over here late second quarter, trying to make something happen. Heaving deep into single coverage, and he hauled it in. The catch made inside the 30-yard line by Bryce Lakowski, and Highland Park is cooking quickly.
Man, and this is a pass from Warren Peck. A dot across the middle on the post route. And it looked initially like number 2, Frederick Lucky, had some good coverage. But man, does Peck put that in an area where only his receiver can get to it and run under it. And talk about answering quickly. Man, HP getting down the field in seconds.
Now all of a sudden, HP's in no hurry. 55 seconds, 3 timeouts. Peck to the air again. This time overshoots his man as he looked in the direction of Wilson Axley.
Boy, Axley had some room. Could Axley get running this route, basic corner route. 2 defenders on his back and still with a few steps. If you're the Rangers defensively, you need to get a stop. You get the ball to start the second half, but you definitely want to get a stop here.
Highland Park feels like Nick Regas has range out to about 35 yards. Nice move here by Axley as he catches the little flare pass on the outside. Inside the 20 to the 19, and Highland Park will use their first timeout.
Yeah, first time out here for Highland Park, but You see they get big number 76, Case Pickleman, one of their offensive linemen that has been out for a while. Coach Randy Allen really happy to get number 76 back, and you can see his impact on this game immediately. The senior, 6'5", 275. A lot of beef up front for the Highland Park Scots.
Randy Allen's team with a big play down the field from Warren Peck to Bryce Lekowski to get down into the red zone here with 3rd down and 4 at the 19 out of this timeout. 31 seconds, 2 timeouts to work with for the Scots. You know, they're certainly thinking about going and getting 7. Yeah. But again, they do feel like Nick Regas has range out to about 35 yards. That would mean they would need to get. Well, they're basically right now just about there. It would be 36, 37-yarder from right here. Quick flip near side, bobbled but caught and dragged to the sideline. Good work by the Rangers' Logan Thompson to pull Wilson actually out of bounds, but he does move the chains. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Yeah, Logan is doing a great job making that tackle, but boy, came close to as far as Wilson actually not being able to handle that pass. He was bobbling it the whole way. Gets control of it at the last minute.
25 seconds. Clock stops as he went out of bounds. Peck pump fakes, looks back near side. End zone flag on the play.
Boy, what a penalty this is going to be.
Parker Thompson got up looking for a flag immediately. The timing of the flag makes me think it would be more inclined to be a hold than pass interference. But actually, with the ball at the 14-yard line, the difference is negligible. It'd either be a 5-yard penalty or a 7-yard penalty. So Sean Watson, the offending party, he had the interception earlier. They call it a spot foul at the 4-yard line.
And Mike, if I'm Randy Allen, man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Warren Peck is your leading rusher. With 19 seconds, I allow my 6'5", 220-pound quarterback to go on a design run. Listen to this crowd.
Timeout called by the Rangers. That's their first timeout taken in this first half. 19 seconds left here in the period. After we had seen the first, let's see, almost 21 minutes of this football game went by before we saw a score. But with 3:33 left here in this second quarter, Warren Peck finally broke the seal with an 11-yard touchdown run. Jesuit came right back. Charlie Peters to Cade Gill, capping off the 3-yard touchdown pass to finish off a strong drive with 1:23 left in this second quarter. And now here we are 1:04 later, and Highland Park knocking on the door once again. So it took the two offenses a little while to wake up, but now here we go, and we're off to the races.
You know, Mike, I could just hear it in your voice. As a former quarterback, you love this. You love, you know, for me.
The glee that starts to kind of take over.
Your eyes light up. You get all happy when that happens. For me, I love it when it's 0-0. It's a stalemate defensively. And I'm like, give me an ugly game. I wanted 3-0.
You complete me, Heckma Harrison. You really do, because I bring the offense, you bring the defense. Handoff actually bowls his way in. Touchdown, Highland Park.
And how about that drive for the Scots? Looking at that RPO run, and he puts it into the belly of does Warren Peck. You know that everybody for the Rangers is looking for number 12 to go on a design run. And, man, that's a great job by the Scots answering quickly. 1:23 when they got the ball. And look at that, 15 seconds left in this half. And
PAT is blocked. It looks like he may have been offside as a flag went in the air at the snap. That could have been a face mask too. No flag flies on that one. I'm a little surprised one didn't, because it looked like
wow. Yeah, it did.
Sean Watson looked like he was taken down by his face mask.
Unfortunately, the referee turned his back completely on the play to get the spot of the ball. With that offside, is Allen tempted to go for 2.
So it will be another try here for Highland Park. The Highland Park offense is trying to talk their way out on the field. Randy Allen's going to call timeout and think this over here for a second, as the ball will now be placed at the 1.5-yard line instead of at the 3. Might Highland Park decide to try and get an extra point here and go for 2?
Yeah, that's what happens a lot of times in football when you have that offsides penalty, moves it a little bit closer and makes that just a goal line, stretch the ball over the pylon or over the goal line, and to get that 2 points. And maybe that's what Randy Allen is talking about, as it looks like he's running his offense back out on. Yeah, he's running this offense back out onto the field.
Here comes Warren Peck and company. So Highland Park will go for 2 here. Ball at the 1.5-yard line after the offside penalty on Jesuit. It was Watson who dove through and blocked the kick, but he was a half a beat early, so they'll go for 2. Peck to the air, pump fakes again, fires, found somebody in the back of the end zone, complete for 2 more.
I think is that his defensive end that caught that ball? It is. It's number 97, Henry Richter.
Yes, it is.
The defensive player that I had to watch. Henry Richter lines up at tight end and catches a touchdown. How about that? I'm thinking he's going to make an impact on the defensive end, and here he is catching touchdowns in this game.
Henry Richter with the catch on the 2-point conversion. The senior captain, one of the leaders of this team. And HP, under a beautiful full moon here on the hilltop, takes a 15-7 lead thanks to the penalty on Jesuit.
This is, man, what a heck of a drive there for the Scots. Great play design, but you knew that once they got that ball closer, and Peck he was going to the outside on that out route, and it was covered. If he had thrown that ball, that may have been a house call, because the defender was going to undercut it, and just standing there all by himself is Henry Richter for the touchdown.
So Highland Park with a rather crucial score, given that it was going to be Ranger football. It still will be Ranger football to start the 3rd quarter. But for Highland Park to score here late in this second frame kind of keeps them on schedule out in front of the Rangers. Kickoff bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Out to the 25 with 15 seconds to work with for the Rangers offense. We have seen them score quickly many times this season, and they do have a kicker in Noah Magoo that they feel has range, they say, out to about 52. So we'll see if the offense from the Rangers decides to try and do something here. But
yeah, when I heard Coach Hickman say that, I said, okay, all right, 52, that's some confidence right there. So they do have 2 timeouts. Looks like they're going to go just on the knee.
Out. The kneel down from Charlie Peters, and the first half is in the books. 15-7, Highland Park with the advantage. Jesuit ball to start the 3rd quarter when we return the Front End Net Football halftime show after this on WFAA+.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
And now, the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by Golden Chick.
And first up on the Friday Night Football halftime show will be the Highlander Band from Highland Park High School under the direction of Darren Jordan. We hope you enjoy the show.
Tonight's featured performers are Highland, Highland, and Mimi Tafel. The Highlander Band is excited to present their 2023 production entitled Be Our Guest, featuring musical selections Be Our Guest, Rhapsody in You, Dream Religion, Prelude, and others. assistants are Leo De La Fuente and Sarah Rivera. The Highland Band would like to thank our 2023 sponsors, the Hickey family, Clays Capital Partners, Property Tax Funding, the Eaton Miller family, Chelsea Warner, Floor, Greenway Music Company, Lamper and Aaron's, the Table family, Ward J, and Johnson Equipment. The award-winning Highland Band appreciates sponsorships that support our program. In addition to our sponsors, we would want to thank our boosters and parents for their amazing support. The Highland Band would like to also wish the Jesuit High School Band the best of luck, and we hope that you have a fantastic marching season.
Highland Park High School. Highland Park High School. Highland Park High School proudly presents the 2023 Highland Bells. Lieutenants from left to right are Alexandra Wright, Ellie Donahoe, Sophie Bishop, Addison Renfro, and Mary Matheson. For your halftime entertainment, the Bells will perform a kick routine to Baby.
Can't you see us?
sponsor of the 2023 team. The Highland Bells are under the direction of Mrs. Shannon Phillips. Associate Director is Mrs. Emily Sanchez. And Assistant Director is Mrs. Brooklyn Slover.
Our thanks to the Highlander Band and Drill Team, a fantastic show from Highland Park. Now up from Jesuit and Ursuline Academies, the Jesuit Ursuline Ranger Band taking the field now here on the hilltop. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey guys, next step is getting police and security. I'm serious. I cannot have y'all this close to the camera.
The Ranger and officers are Junior Lieutenant Catherine East, Junior Lieutenant Kate Tiffany, Junior Lieutenant Sadie Johnson, Junior Lieutenant Claire Whitlow, Senior Lieutenant Claire Savage, the First Lieutenant is Christina Anton, Senior Lieutenant Jamie Goodall, and the third is the Captain Ellie Capella. The Rangerettes of the week are Ava Stewart and Wesley McMahon. And now, Danger Zone. the Dark Knight.
A terrific show from the Jesuit Rangers, the Jesuit Ursuline Ranger Band here at halftime at Ford Stadium on the campus of SMU. Mike Leslie, Heckma Harrison back here with you in the booth. 15-7 our halftime score in favor of Highland Park. Let's take a look back at how we got to this point with our halftime highlights. And it took a minute to finally have somebody find the end zone. Highland Park would do so first as Warren Peck took it in from 11 yards out, faked the option pitch. The ball did come out, but it looked pretty clear that this ball came out after he had crossed the plane.
But, Mike, we came into this game expecting for Warren Peck to have some type of influence, and he did that immediately on that touchdown run.
Right back, though, came Jesuit as Charlie Peters fired up the left side, found Dolan Hedrick, and he brought it down inside the 25 to start the Rangers offense finally moving here, and it did not take them long to find the end zone. Peters firing to Cade Gill, the defensive end, for the touchdown.
First quarter 0-0, and then in the second quarter, both of these offenses came alive, and that where you see right there, Charlie Peters finding his guy in the back of the end zone, and man, things are just happening fast as Peck comes right back with a strike.
It was only just 5 seconds after that touchdown pass from Peters to Gill that Peck connected with his man Bryce Lekowski up the middle, and that led to Wilson Axley with the 4-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, actually making it just really easy work right there with an inside run. Everyone expecting for Peck to go on a quarterback sneak. He puts it into the belly of number 2, and just like that, they get into the end zone. But I thought what was most interesting is that 2-point conversion there to end the first half.
It was Warren Peck hitting his defensive end, Henry Richter, for that 2-point conversion. They had the PAT blocked, you'll see here in a moment. The penalty, though, as Jesuit was offside, and that led to the 2-point conversion try, and they did hit the big defensive end, Henry Richter, 4-2 to lead 15-7. So we went 20 minutes and 27 seconds with 0 points, and then in the final 3:33 of the second quarter, 22 points from these two teams. So finally, the offense has turned on. Let's give you a look at the halftime stats. To this point, Highland Park with a significant edge in total yards, but it almost all, Heckma Harrison, comes via their advantage on the ground.
No, it really does, and I'm really surprised by the Rangers in that 3 yards. It looked like they had more success than that, and maybe it was that final kneel down that took the rushing yards away. But 135-3, that's something that the Rangers are definitely going to have to be intentional about here in the second half, because I think that balance for them in the complementary football that they're playing are the Scots is really keeping the Rangers at bay.
Both teams with 1 turnover, 5 combined penalties so far in this football game. It's been a pretty clean game to this point.
No, it really has, and I think defensively, I know you hated that first quarter because defensively.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't want to go. Hey, listen.
You don't like it.
We had a game, Denton Ryan and Frisco Lone Star, a couple years ago. It was a 7-6 final score. It's one of the best football games I've ever seen. It was fantastic theater. I could appreciate a low-scoring slugfest. But as a former quarterback myself, yes, I enjoy the higher tempo, higher scoring games on the average. Yes, I do.
No, I'm glad you admitted that. But either way, I think that the defense in the first quarter played a big part. Both of these offenses came alive. Second half, I really do believe that the Rangers have to understand they have to stick to who they are. That quick tempo offense and not allowing for the Scots to bring in and rotate their defenders is going to be very important for them in this second half. And thank you for watching the Friday Night Football Halftime Show, sponsored by Golden Chick.
Our thanks to the two bands, the Highlander Band under the direction of Darren Jordan, and the Jesuit Ursuline Ranger Band under the direction of Donovan Putnam for their halftime show. 15-7 our score now as we get ready to kick off the second half between Jesuit and Highland Park. A huge game in District 7 6A. Winner of this game will be in position to perhaps go win a district championship. Whoever that team is will need to beat Berkner in the coming weeks. Highland Park plays Berkner next week. Jesuit plays Berkner 2 weeks from now after their bye week. That will be a necessary piece of the puzzle if they want to go win a district championship. But it would be out there for the taking for whoever wins this football game tonight.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth, but right now both of these teams have their destiny in their hands. And I believe right now, again, for Jesuit, the team that does have the bye, they have to play with a sense of urgency here in the second half. So much to play for, so much playoff implications as well.
Jaeger Kraus from inside his own end zone brings it out, gets it out to the 23-yard line, a return of 25. And out comes Charlie Peters, the junior quarterback, and this Jesuit Rangers offense. 7 points in the first half from a unit that averages 40 a game.
I think that's the most surprising thing. Not only that, they didn't score in the first quarter, but just what we're used to seeing them play, quick tempo, fast twitch offense. They kind of went a little conventional there in the first half.
Yeah, there were moments where they were legitimately huddling. They're going to start going to the air over the middle. Hedrick on the receiving end. A pickup of 16 out to the 38-yard line.
And I love that play, getting Charlie Peters in rhythm to finding Dolan Hedrick, who had a big play in the first half.
He had the big reception that led to the first touchdown of the day for the Rangers. They capped that drive off with the Peters to Cade Gill touchdown pass from 3 yards out to tie the game at 7. Officially the 36-yard line, the line of scrimmage, as finding the honey hole in the zone once again is Charlie Peters. Heckma, he is really good at that.
Oh, man. That's what you call willing and dealing right there. Look at this. You call it the honey hole. That's putting it into a keyhole in between two defenders as Charlie Peters has come out here in rhythm. And that's the quarterback that we all came to see.
Jack Yeski, the junior, on the receiving end. And it's 1st and 10 at the 45. The Rangers already into Highland Park territory. Handoff Hedrick. Hedrick with a lot of room, puts his hand in the dirt to get himself around another defender and down to the 37, a gain of 8.
Bit of a sidewinder run there, using the referee as a defender. You use everything you can, and he's using the referee.
The referee and the hand on the ground, the balance from Dolan Hedrick shown off there. Now the handoff, Zane Williams. 3rd down, just a gain of a yard.
Gain of a yard, but Jack Morse with a thud of a shot. Just standing Zane Williams up. Zane Williams goes 5'10", 210 pounds. And Jack Morse got there and put him on his back pockets.
3rd down and 1. 5 wide receivers set for Peters. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. He's going to take it himself right up the middle. He'll have the 1st down inside the 35 before he's shoved back, but it's enough to move the chains.
And Charlie Peters doing his Warren Peck impersonation, picking up the 1st down. That's a big pickup there on 3rd down for this Rangers offense. And you kind of get the feeling from them, Mike, that they feel like they have to score in this first drive. They get the ball to start the second half, and they want to steal some of the momentum back that Highland Park gained in that first half.
Peters in the offensive line looking to the sideline for signals. Now ready for 1st and 10. Looking backside, ball knocked down. Good hands by Daniel Turner. He read that play the whole way.
And Daniel Turner, number 93, had himself one heck of a first half. And that's just staying disciplined. Great eye discipline as well, knocking down that pass. They're trying to set up a screen to the wide side. Didn't fool the Scots.
The white out from the Highland Park student section. All the t-shirts reading "Beat Jesuit." 2nd and 10 for Peters. Williams to his right, 2 wide receivers either side. Pressure off the edge. He makes one man miss. Look at Peters get to the outside. Now he's going to try and run for it. Dives his way across the 30 and turns it into a gain of 5.
Well, that's a good job, though, by the Scots defense. They lose contain completely. And that's one of those plays, if Charlie Peters just has a little bit more speed, he burns those guys to the first down marker.
He did take what could have been a sack and turned it into a gain of 5.
No,
so
absolutely.
3rd and 5 is an awful lot more manageable. The move he made in the backfield was spectacular. They've got to get to the 24. Peters, pressure in his face again, evades it, throws, knocked away. 4th down, as coming through was Jack McCallum for the incompletion.
And that's a good job by Jack McCallum stepping in front of that pass. And this is going to bring up a big 4th down for the Rangers that are keeping their offense on the field. I told you, Mike, they came out with that energy like they knew or felt like they have to get a score here to begin the second half. And Coach Hickman keeping his offense on the field. They're going for it.
Play clock down to 11. They are in Noah Magoo field goal range, but they go for it on 4th and 5. Peters is going to call timeout. We'd be remiss if we didn't take a moment to talk about Highland Park head coach Randy Allen. Number 2 on the all-time list for wins in a career for Texas high school football coaches. Phil Danaher from Corpus Christi, Cal Allen, the only name above his. And heck, based on our conversation with Randy Allen the other day, he may have enough time to go climb his way to 490 and beyond. He does not sound like a man who is ready to be done.
He talked about his grandkids that are in elementary school.
5th grade and 8th grade.
5th grade and 8th.
He's got grandkids that are in 5th and 8th grade. Out of the timeout, Jesuit is going to attempt the field goal. A 46-yarder from the right hash here for Noah Magoo. They told us this week they felt like he's got range out to 52, so this is in his wheelhouse out of the hold of Jaeger Krause. Snap is good, hold is down. The kick from Magoo is perfect.
Wow.
From 46 yards, Noah Magoo splits the uprights, and Jesuit pays off the first drive here in the second half. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a high school football kicker.
And Mr. Magoo, what are you doing on Sundays? We got to get some questions. 46, and that looked like that was good from a lot further of a distance.
Yeah.
Said he was good from 52. I am definitely believing that. I didn't mean to question Coach Hickman when he said 52, but my eyebrows raised immediately when he said that, because there's not a lot of high school kids that can kick from that distance, and that was true from 46.
Well, and it's one thing to be able to hit from 50 in practice.
Yeah.
It's another thing entirely to be able to stripe one like he just did there in a game setting. By the way, on a collegiate goalpost, which is 6 feet slimmer, more narrow than a high school goalpost. The high school goalpost, 24 feet 6 inches. A collegiate goalpost, 18.5 feet wide. So that is a significantly more difficult kick for Noah Magoo. But there is Randy Allen on your screen right now. We were talking about the career that he has had. 43 years now doing it in total. His 25th year at Highland Park. 438 wins. He did retire for a moment. In the spring of 2018, they had won 2 consecutive state championships at the time. And he retired for 3 weeks. And he told us the story, Hackma, earlier this week on the phone. And the twists and turns of this story as he hemmed and hawed about this decision. Even before he made the announcement, he wasn't sure. But that morning he woke up and said, you know what? It's time. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to announce my retirement. And he said it was that day that people were making comments to him, good-naturedly, just joking around. But, hey, how's it feel to not have a purpose anymore? And he said it just stung him like, wow, I already want my job back. And it didn't take him long, about 3 weeks' time, to officially decide, yeah, I want my job back. My favorite detail of the story, the final nudge over the top to make that phone call to the superintendent and say, yes, I want my job back, came from who, Hackma Harrison?
Gil Brandt.
Gil Brandt, of all people, the Dallas Cowboys legend, the late Gil Brandt, who left us not long ago, was the final nudge for Randy Allen to say, hey, if this is how you feel, go get your job back.
It was so much about that story that he's telling us. And Mike, I'm sitting there on the phone saying, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, should we sometimes the details of a story you don't understand, especially when you're talking about a legend like Randy Allen. And I don't know, it's all of this took about 3 weeks, and he's talking about his mentors and things like that. And I'm saying to myself, who's mentoring one of the greatest high school coaches ever? Like, who do you go to? And then he says Gil Brandt, and I'm like, well, that's one heck of a support system if you got Gil Brandt to call, the late great Gil Brandt.
He went to his team 3 weeks later. They're going to go trick play here. Another double pass, looking deep up the far sideline. Single coverage, bobbled and dropped. Nearly hauled in by Wilson Axley, but a good job by Frederick Lucky to stay home on the play, Heckma, and help break it up.
Frederick Lucky's been having his work cut out for him, and they are targeting number 2 over on that far side. Great job again by not climbing the back of the ref. No, that's not number 2. That's didn't get the number. I believe that's number 6, Hudson Reed.
Lucky was back there, but you're right. Yes. It was Reed that was in coverage on Wilson Axley.
Yeah, and so either way, like, I just feel as though right now you could tell both of these teams are pulling out all the stops. The Rangers came out with a bit of a flea flicker or a reverse pass and a little trickeration of their own to the Scots, returning the favor.
2nd down and 10. Pack able to get his way right to the 30-yard stripe, a pickup of 5. It'll set up 3rd and 5. Just to finish the point on Randy Allen, into year 43. He is the all-time leader in district championships. He's got 30 coming into this season. Just a remarkable career. Just at Highland Park, he's won 285 games. 3rd and 5. Peck again going to the option. Keeps it himself. Cuts up field. 1st down and then some. Man, it is hard to bring this kid down.
Yeah, 6'5", 220 pounds. I keep mentioning that because Coach Randy Allen, when he was talking about his quarterback, he said last year this kid was about 250, almost 260, and was running about a 5 flat. And they said this kid came back after the summertime, after working with a trainer, didn't recognize him, and now he's running in the 4s, 4.5, 4.6, and you could see it paying off right there, leading the team in rushing yards.
He's shed nearly 40 pounds.
I need to find out who his trainer is.
Cut his 40 time down to 4.6. He is tough to stop on his feet. So is Wilson Axley, who twists his way out to the 48-yard line, a gain of 8 on the first play of the set. One other point, you mentioned Randy Allen and going to his mentors and trying to find that piece of advice as he was going through a difficult time for him trying to make that decision. It reminds me of something that Brandon Hickman told us about Randy Allen. There's a lot of respect between these two men, coaching not far from one another, just 5.8 miles down the tollway from one another. Before they became district opponents, they would bounce a lot of ideas off each other as Pack rolls out, evades the pressure, fires downfield. 2 flags fly in as Frederick Lucky didn't make a play on the football there and just ran through Bryce Lakowski. That will be pass interference. But Brandon Hickman said he's been at coaching conferences, and there's Randy Allen at 70-plus years old taking notes and just locked in on everything that's being taught. He said this guy never stops learning.
Yeah, this is really, again, it's a great conversation with both of these coaches, but for Coach Randy Allen, for me, and I'm sure for you as well, being as close as we are to Texas high school football, you talk to these legendary coaches and you finally get this opportunity to have this conversation.
So that's a big penalty on Highland Park that wipes out the pass interference against Jesuit.
Lucky break, but just saying, you know, you hear so much about these coaches and finally getting an opportunity to talk to Randy Allen, but just the respect that he has around Texas high school football and for Coach Hickman. And he's like you said, they're at a football conference, and there he is sitting in the front row taking notes. You know, it's amazing, and there's a reason why he has the success that he has. He's constantly in a learning mode. I loved everything about talking to Randy Allen this week.
2nd and 2, handoff here inside to Keller Holmes. Looks like he's going to be just shy of the line to gain. Cade Gill in on the tackle, and now they do say it's just enough to move the sticks. 1st and 10 right at the 49.
We've had a few instances with getting to the sticks, and they've just
it's been close,
no measurement. They just go right to, hey, come on, let's move these sticks and keep this ball game going.
So 1st and 10, just shy of midfield for Highland Park.
Man, what a game. What a great game and crowd that we have here on hand, Mike. This has been an amazing night for football.
Here goes Wilson. Axley around the right side. Breaks a tackle. Axley inside the 40-yard line, and a pickup of 16 down into Jesuit territory.
Oh, and Grayson Wambacher, number 54, the linebacker, had a bead on him, tracking him out in the flat, just not able to get him down. And they pick up another 1st down. Your leader on defense has to make that tackle. Your number 54.
Brendan Hickman speaks highly of Grayson Wambacher and everything that he is for their defense, but that's a play that Wambacher certainly wants back. 1st and 10 right at the 35. Option once again. This time they will pitch it near side for Keller Holmes. Holmes around the edge. Give him maybe 4 on the play.
And we've talked about coming out of the break, the difference in those rushing yards for the Scots over the Rangers. And it's starting to rear its head again as you see them with this long, methodical drive here to begin the 3rd quarter. And it's been guys like Keller Holmes and Wilson Axley that have just victimized this Rangers defense at certain times. You need guys like Chris Symington, who had a killer first half, to get back to the way he was there in the first half. It looked like number 92, was on every tackle.
2nd down handoff here for Axley into the pile, and he's going to have enough for the 1st down once again inside the 25. As we approach the midway point here of quarter number 3, Highland Park, Heckma on the march here.
No, they are, and it's been getting it done on the ground. And Warren Peck, I'm so impressed with his game. He's so cool, calm, and collected and patient in that RPO offense, and he is really stalling these guys out on the back end for the Rangers, because they have to wait on him to make a decision with the football before they react.
Handoff Axley again, knifing his way up the middle inside the 20. They'll mark him right at the 20-yard line. Robert Curatolo trying to cheer on this Jesuit defense to make a stop in our YouTube comments tonight. Barrett Johnston saying that his Spanish teacher is on the cheer team for Highland Park. Max A4, a big fan of Pete Delkus, says everyone in McKinney is dead. As the 2nd down carry goes for 3. If you're an avid Channel 8 viewer, you know that moment all too well.
Oh no.
I believe one of our promos that you may have seen over the course of the evening features that iconic moment from one Mr. Delkus.
That was TV gold.
Do let us know in the YouTube comments where you're watching from tonight as Peck fires end zone, single coverage knocked away. Sean Watson with another nice play in coverage. He's got an interception tonight. That one saved the touchdown.
No, that's good job by Watson. Pretty much just tracking the whole time, but reacting with his hands at the last minute. That's a good job, because if you react any sooner, that's pass interference.
And it is 4th down and 2. Highland Park's offense staying on. They bring in a heavy package here. They've got to get right to the 15 for a 1st down. Ball sits at the 17. Peck's going to be in shotgun. Tight formation, 2 backs, 1 to either side of Peck. Claps for the snap. Handoff Axley. Axley stood up at the line and driven back. He didn't get it. Jesuits defense with the stop at the 16-yard line.
What a stance by the Rangers defense. That is what they needed. I tell you what, that is the example of bend, don't break, because a lot of points in time in that drive, it looked like it was a foregone conclusion that the Highland Park Scots were going to get into the end zone. How about that for the Rangers?
And it was Merritt Johnston, number 37, who met him in the hole and drove him back, stopped him at the 16-yard line, and Jesuit takes over on downs. Peters made one man miss but can't make two, loses a couple on 1st and 10.
Boy, what a stop by Jesuit. That is what you call stealing some momentum. Randy Allen gambling, going for it on 4th and 2 instead of taking the points, maybe kicking the field goal. And the Rangers defense right there with the stop, as you pointed out. He makes the tackle and not only doesn't allow him to fall forward, he stops him in his tracks.
2nd and a dozen. Peters will go to the air, looks up the near sideline. He's got a man behind the defense. It's Kraus across the 40 to the 45.
Charlie Peters is willing and dealing right now. Look at the fake and just standing in the pocket with pressure coming down on top of him and delivering the strike on the outside. That's good. That is good work right there by the junior quarterback who has come in as advertised. Not only just the guy that's leading in yardage, man, but this is a special talent, and you can see it with his arm and the way he just delivered that last pass.
So 1st and 10 at the 45 here for Peters. Handoff, Hedrick falls his way forward. They'll mark him at the 47, a gain of 2.
Now defensively, if you're Highland Park, you definitely want to return the favor. As you saw right there, Henry Richter, big number 97, talked about him in the pregame, his ability to cause a pile and not allow for that running back to escape out the back door. This Highland Park defensive line has got to stand up here and get a stop as well.
J.D. Gonzalez in the YouTube comments talking about that 4th down stop, says, big stop, let's go. 2nd down and 8, Hedrick motions out of the formation. Peters is going to take off and run for it. Got a lead blocker, slung forward. He'll have enough for a 1st down inside the 45 as Jesuit moves into Highland Park territory.
You know, we hadn't done a lot of talking about Peters' legs coming into this game, but he has shown on a few occasions that on those design runs, especially when they need to pick up a 1st down, that he is a viable option for the Rangers offense.
As we tick down to 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter, 15-10, Highland Park leads Jesuit in this key district game in 7-6A. They tried to set up the tunnel screen, but Henry Richter read it and slung him to the turf.
How about that? Big number 97 reading that perfectly. A lot of times when you have a screen like that, defensively, you have the tendency to try and work up the field. You do that, you work on up the field unblocked, and you think someone's not blocking you, you may want to turn around. I told you the story about my coach Bob Stoops at Kansas State told me, hey, Heckman, you're not good enough to be unblocked, okay? It's a screen coming behind you. It's designed. Stop what you're doing and look around, okay?
2nd down and 10 at the 44. Deep shot again here from Peters, single coverage. Did he? No flag on that. Oh, okay. Finally the flag flew. That was an extraordinarily late flag, and holding his left knee is Quentin Williams. And immediately surrounded by the training staff from Jesuit. As he holds his left knee is the senior receiver, Quentin Williams. This is the absolute last thing that someone from Jesuit want to see, and oh, the sigh of relief, I'm sure, from Rangers fans right now. Just a week removed from seeing Cooper Cutler, their leading receiver, go down with a torn ACL. The moment I saw Quentin Williams reach for his knee,
and that's what
my heart went in my throat, and I don't have a dog in the fight. Like, you hate to see something like that happen.
And that's why I held my comments right there when I saw him go down. And that's a big penalty there for Charlie Peters. He puts that a back shoulder fade, and the defender couldn't do anything but get the pass interference. But I'm with you. That was a really late flag unless the referee just couldn't grab his flag on time.
Yeah, I'm not sure what, because it was super late that flag flew in. But it did come out, and it gives Jesuit a 1st and 10 at the 24. It will be 2nd and 10 at the 24 as Hedrick couldn't go anywhere.
And so even though you're without your star wide receiver, I think this is an opportunity for them on the outside. The ball is on the near side, the near hash, but they're man-to-man at the top of your screen.
2 backs in the backfield here with Peters. Play action fake. They look that way into single coverage. Ball well over the head of Blake Bodner and incomplete.
I'm trying to do my best Tony Romo impersonation right there by calling my shot, and then it's an incomplete pass. This is great.
3rd down and 10. They did have the singled up opportunity there for Bodner. Brandon Hickman and his coaching staff pointing to the scoreboard, it appears. I'm not sure what the disconnect here is between.
It is 3rd and 10.
That's certainly how I understood the situation, was that it would be 3rd down right now. The sticks on the far side read 3rd and 10. The scoreboard in-house reads 3rd and 10. Rick Ford and our 7-man officiating crew talking things over. I believe he said 32 seconds, and indeed they do change the game clock to 32 here in quarter number 3. A special guest here in the broadcast booth tonight will join us at the start of the 4th quarter, a name that some folks in the Jesuit community may know, Brad Ramsey, the general manager of WFAA, here with us tonight.
I thought this guy was just lost. I didn't know what was going on. I just walked in the booth and he's taking pictures of everybody. I'm glad you know him. I'm sitting trying to figure out what's going on. How you doing? What's good?
3rd and 10 over the middle, incomplete.
Okay. I was going to wait on him to leave to say, hey, man.
I told you he was coming tonight. Quentin Williams was the intended target there on 3rd and 10. And it goes in and out of the hands of Williams. Good to see him back on the field in the first place, but it is now 4th down, and it looks like they're going to bring on the field goal unit again.
Well, hey, they beat me before I could ask you the question. Do you kick the field goal, or do you go for it here on 4th down? And obviously, you know you have a kicker that is good money. Here's Magoo.
He's already hit one 46-yarder here in this 3rd quarter. This again will be from 46 yards on the right hash. Virtually an identical kick for Noah Magoo. Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick is no good. Wide to the right. Plenty of leg, but wide to the right, and Highland Park gets a stop.
Oh, you talk about dodging a bullet right there. How about that 3rd quarter? That's close.
It was, but it was wide to the right.
Wow. Both defenses with the stance here to start the 3rd quarter.
And with 20 seconds left in the 3rd, it remains 15-10.
Wow.
We talked with some folks from Jesuit earlier today that were talking about, hey, Noah Magoo is feeling like, hey, a game-winning kick is in my wheelhouse tonight. He wants that opportunity. He may get another chance later in this game. Wide open over the middle is Lekowski, and he'll have the 1st down as Peck was able to find him late in the down.
And that's just the coverage breakdown from the Jesuit Rangers. They had everything covered up, and they allow him to get to the middle of the field and to pick up big yardage, man, that's dodging a bullet, as Warren Peck, as he alludes at the first defenders, like that was going to be a sack. And man, I feel an instant classic coming on here, Mike. This is one heck of a ball game, even at 15-10.
We have been spoiled this year on Friday Night Football with some really good football games. This one has the ingredients as we head to the fourth. 15-10, Scots with the lead on Friday Night Football. Touchdown! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Bells versus Gunner. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7:30 on WFAA+.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
As we welcome you back here on Friday Night Football, quick snap here for Peck over the middle and complete, in and out of the hands of his intended target, Bryce Lakowski, and it will be second down and 10. Let's bring you back inside the broadcast booth here at the hill on the hilltop. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison, joined now by Brad Ramsey, the general manager here at WFAA. Your son, a sophomore at Jesuit. You got a younger son that's already making his way up through the ranks, will be at Jesuit soon. And so you've got a bit of a rooting interest this evening with the Jesuit shirt on and everything.
I do have a personal connection. I have the team gear on. Hopefully everybody understands. But and Heckma, I'm Brad. Good to meet you.
How you doing, Heckma?
Hey, the ball just came out. A sack there by Jesuit, and the ball came out. They do not say that Peck is down. Rangers recover. Forget the pleasantries, fella. We got a football game going on. Peck is sacked. The recovery by Logan Thompson, and it's Ranger football at the 37-yard line in Highland Park territory.
Boy, just like that. That is exactly what this defense is needed, especially to start the fourth quarter. The momentum wasn't on either of these teams' side, and now it is for the Rangers. And hey, maybe you were the lucky piece for the Rangers. Give you a headset and things turn around immediately.
I didn't want to say it. It's actually 6-0 Jesuit since I got here at halftime.
All right.
First and 10. Peters, quick throw, far side, complete. And close to maybe a first down. Ball in the hands of Jack Yeske. Yes, indeed. Move the sticks at the 27. So Alex Ramsey, your son, a sophomore at Jesuit, and you actually were on the call for a Jesuit game a couple of years ago too, and we did Jesuit and I want to say McKinney Boyd that night.
That's right, and what we had.
Shot up the near sideline, knocked away. Good defense by Cormac Carroll.
We had one young Mr. Smith have a good night that night for Jesuit.
E.J. Smith, the son of Emmett, now at Stanford, yes.
One of the reasons I wanted to be here, Mike, is to see this in action. You guys put so much into this. You have upgraded quite a bit since I was in the booth a few years ago.
We waited for you to leave, and then we decided now it was time to kind of scale things up a little bit.
I want to thank you, Mike, for all you put into this. This is a real treat for our audience every Friday. Football is religion here. What a great game, great atmosphere. I have friends in both of these communities. And what a great football game tonight. I'm glad we can make it available to the audience. So I want to thank you and this crew for all that you put into this game. I wish you all could see the detail here, the time they put into it, the coaches' interviews in the week leading up to it. I want to thank Golden Chick for being the sponsor. This continues to grow. It's something we're really proud of. And how great is this? This local game, big game, two rivals, and in a future ACC stadium. How about that?
Yes, it is a future ACC stadium, and nearly 15,000 people here tonight for this football game. It is a special atmosphere. Randy Allen told us earlier this week he expects it to be like a playoff atmosphere, and it's been like a playoff football game too. 3rd and 10. Peters over the middle. Lots of traffic knocked away. Jack Morse, the first to get a hand on it, and it's 4th down.
Well, that's a dangerous pass because Jack Morse is coming out in the flat. If he's able to get more than just one hand on that, boy, he is going the other way in a hurry.
So 4th and 10, and here comes the Jesuit field goal unit once again. This is going to be a similar range.
And impressed with your detail on the width of the field goal post, Mike.
That's a former high school kicker speaking. That's where that knowledge comes from. Once upon a time, I was trying to do the stuff that Noah Magoo is doing. Not at the level that he does it. He's already hit from 46, missed one from 46. He'll try another one from the right hash, but not before Brandon Hickman uses his first time out of the second half.
Interesting spot for a timeout.
Yeah, you don't want to ice your own kicker, right? You don't want to ice your own guy, but absolutely. This, I wasn't going to say anything about the field goal measurement, the goalpost, but he kind of, spat that out so fast. It's like, wow. There's certain things I know about the game and certain things I don't, and that was one of them. So I just went right along with it. I'm smart enough to just keep my mouth shut. But that was impressive, Mike.
Heck, I have to tell you.
One of those details that just for some reason stuck in my brain long ago.
Idea.
You said you thought I was lost earlier. You should have seen how lost I got trying to get up here.
Oh,
but,
no.
Making my way through all the suites at a high school football game.
Yeah.
Who knew a high school football game could have suites?
That's the one thing. You're talking about the work that we've put into this project. They're trying to reset the play clock. They're holding up the snap here. Everybody's trying to ice Noah Magoo right now, even unintentionally, the officiating crew as well. Now they've got the play clock reset to 25, and Magoo will be able to line up this 44-yarder from the right hash. Again, good from 46, missed from 46. This one from 44, and a penalty.
Movement.
Immediately, the umpire pointing to Highland Park. Yes, that's disconcerting signals called on Highland Park. The defensive front of the Scots trying to get Jesuit to jump offside, so that's going to give a free 5 yards here to Noah Magoo and turn this into a 38-yard attempt from the right hash.
Not the kicker you want to do that to.
So his life just became a little bit easier here. Magoo from 38 from the right hash. Snap is good, hold is down, kick is perfect. And the Rangers peel a couple more points off that Highland Park lead. 11 minutes, 3 seconds left in quarter number 4, and Magoo makes it a 2-point game.
And that was true. Again, 38 yards, and it looked like it could have definitely been good from a further distance. So you think about that kick. If he had made the previous one, again, that was wide right, but maybe an opportunity there to go up by 1 point if you're Jesuit.
Well, we've got a moment of thank you to Brad Ramsey for coming up and joining us in the booth. Brad, I know you probably want to just be able to enjoy the game, so we'll let you go. But thank you so much for coming by and spending some time with us in the booth and scaring Heckma.
Well, thank you both again. Just tremendous job. I'm so proud of this effort. Grateful to both of you for all you put into it.
Absolutely.
Grateful to our crew, and so glad that fans around North Texas get to enjoy this. It's a real treat, and we're gonna keep it up.
We appreciate you being here for sure. You talk about the crew and the work that they have put in over the course of the last few weeks in particular. We have had some very, very late nights here on Friday Night Football. A 3-hour and 20-minute lightning delay up in Decatur, a night that didn't end until 1:12 in the morning.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
We didn't leave Decatur until 2:30 in the morning that night. Tonight has been a little bit closer to script. Except for in one category, Heckma Harrison, and that's the fact that I expected a close game tonight, but I expected a close game that was like 42-40 right now, not 15-13. I just feel like, did I just drop back into 1992? What's happening right now?
Kind of the feeling, and I think we came into it talking about first 1 to 40 wins, and here you are in a low-scoring game that has been dominated by defense.
By the way, I must mention, comment in the YouTube feed as Brad Ramsey mentioned the fact that he's been kind of the good luck charm for Jesuit. Clint Nash in the comments, don't let Ramsey leave.
Stay where you are.
They have peeled it closer, down to 15-13. Handoff here goes to Keller Holmes, and he's out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, does anything change? Does anything change as far as your philosophy if you're Randy Allen, now that you're just up by 2 points? Do you have to stay more disciplined, you know, with just staying with the running game, or do you even attempt to continue to try and air it out?
They're not going to hurry between plays. I'm pretty confident of that at the very least. Down to 15 on the play clock. They do snap it, frankly, faster than I thought they would have. Peck on the quarterback draw, and he'll have just enough for a first down.
We came in talking about Warren Peck and not only his ability as a passer, but his legs as well in that RPO offense. And Grayson Wambacher with the tackle, but not before Warren Peck can pick up the first down.
The YouTube comments still going nuts with Ranger fans saying, bring Ramsey back, bring Ramsey. If it makes you feel any better, he is still here with us in the booth. So for you Ranger fans that are hoping for the good vibes to continue, he's still around, so he didn't go anywhere. Handoff here for Cooper Schendel. Maybe a half a yard on the carry. A reserve back for the Scots. Just his 4th carry of the season.
Another great job by this Rangers defense. They've gotten so much penetration here in the second half. You started to see it happening also at the end of that second quarter. Chris Symington doing a good job. Number 92 going up against some of those bigs over there on the left side, getting penetration, getting in the backfield. They're going to have to continue with that if they can pull out a victory.
2nd down and 9. Peck to the air, near side, knocked away. Frederick Lucky there in coverage.
And that is a way to rebound if you're Frederick Lucky, a kid that I talked about him, and the way that it seemed like to me Warren Peck was just aiming these passes at him. That's a good job of just driving on that ball and not allowing the receiver to pick up that first down yardage and bringing up a big 3rd down now for the Scots.
3rd down and 9. They've got to get to the 45 to move the chains. 2 wide receivers to either side in a stack. Peck, straight drop out of shotgun. Pressure in his face. Peck able to get away, trying to get to the outside. Fires last second. Was that ball caught? What a throw and catch. Warren Peck moves the chains. A terrific throw, and it's hauled in by Paxton Smith.
How did Paxton Smith catch that ball? I've got to see the replay on that, because that was an amazing throw and catch.
Warren Peck with the jersey ripped, gets away, last possible second fires the pass, and it was caught on the far side for the first down. Unbelievable, and it's 1st and 10 for Highland Park at the 46. Peck to the air again. Over the middle, wide open. 1st down and then some, and once again on the receiving end, it's Paxton Smith.
Paxton Smith, another one of those good lacrosse players, an attackman, a guy that has wheels, and you see it right there paying off, him in open field. But man, how about the hands right there for number 19, Paxton Smith? Man, that was maybe a game-saving catch right there from Paxton Smith to move the chains.
Fresh 1st down right at the 40-yard line. Peck, quick throw, finds his hot read, and they'll move the chains again as he finds Brian Rapp over the middle.
And you can see Warren Peck, this thing starting to maybe it was that hit on Warren Peck that kind of woke him up. And he is this senior quarterback, he is dealing right now. Throwing some great passes.
Highland Park still with all 3 timeouts. Jesuit down to just the 1. 8 minutes to play here on the hilltop. Peck going to the option once again. Strung out, cuts upfield. Just hard to bring down. Could have been a gain of 2 instead of a gain of about 4.5.
And I thought he was going to pitch it there at the last minute, but instead, that's great work by the senior, not wanting to turn the ball over. So many things can go wrong there, but it looked like he had a viable option out to the sideline if he did decide to pitch it at the last minute.
Officially a gain of 4 on the play. Ball spotted at the 26-yard line, 2nd down and 6. Pack handoff here for Holmes. And Holmes is stood up. Holmes did leave momentarily, got hit a little awkwardly and had to run off and get checked momentarily. Good to see him back out there, but just a gain of 1 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and this defense coming up big here. And that's the linebacker that we came in anticipating that he would have a lot of matchups in that B gap. As number 54, Grayson Wambacher, the captain of this defense and the leader in tackles. And this is what a stance. If they get a stop here for the Rangers, this would be big.
Option pitch near side. Trying to get the corner. He will. Lowering his shoulder is Axley for the 1st down.
That is just pure will and determination for Wilson Axley, knowing that he needs to pick up that 1st down, get to the sticks, and he lowers his shoulders and gets to it. And that, just like that, Highland Park, boy, look like they've been in some tight spots here in this drive, continuing to keep that clock moving, and better than that, the chains moving as well.
They can bleed it down close to 6 minutes left before they have to snap it here. 5 on the play clock. Pack on 1st and 10 from the 19. Misdirection, handoff on the comebacker here for Axley, but Jesuit read it perfectly. A loss on the play as Cade Gill was all over it.
Yeah, didn't fool anyone. And they tracked it the whole way to get the stop, bringing up a big 2nd down. I don't know about you, Mike, but I've gotten a feeling of a bend, don't break style here from the Rangers. As things get into the red zone, they have the tendency to bring those safeties up a little bit closer and close down the spacing. Me, as a former defensive guy, I love playing in the red zone because it just shortened the field.
6 guys close to the line of scrimmage there. Trying to get the edge is Holmes. Beats his man around the corner. It was a foot race with him and Logan Thompson. And Holmes is down inside the 15. It's going to be 3rd down and call it 5.
And for Logan Thompson, he's trying to make a tackle on the backside, but that shows you his speed and his ability to track Keller down and get that tackle, bringing up a big 3rd down.
15,000 in-house tonight for this one. Watching this cat and mouse game through the 4th quarter between Highland Park head coach Randy Allen and his former defensive coordinator Don Woods. Woods trying to drop a play that's going to get a stop, and they do. 4th down. Tackle made by Antonio Jones. And HP's got a decision to make now.
Randy Allen is not even flinching.
Nope.
There ain't even a discussion about bringing on a field goal.
They are well within range for Nick Regas. From the spot of the ball right now, it would be a 31-yarder. They're going to let the play clock wind down, and then I think Randy Allen's going to take his 1st time out of this 2nd half. With the clock all the way down to 4 minutes and 37 seconds. 36, in fact, as they let it bleed just a bit more. Don Woods was the defensive coordinator at Highland Park for 7 years, part of their state championships in 2016 and 2017, before coming over to Jesuit And Randy Allen joked with us earlier this week. He said are there some things he knows about how you do everything? And he said, yeah, like even our signals. He knows everything about what we do.
What, like our signals? He wasn't even letting you insinuate anything. Is that what you're saying, our signals? Yes, he knows our signals.
He knows it all. And it has been entertaining to watch the battle between their two units here in this second half. But Jesuit needs a stop right now. And
they got one before. I mean, they know, and right now they're just trying to imagine what Randy Allen is going to dial up here on a 4th and 4. I ask you, Mike, I mean, obviously you have the luxury of being up here in the press box. What are you thinking here? Do you kick the field goal? Do you put your defense back out there? They've been doing a heck of a job. Or do you go for it here on 4th and 4?
Honestly, with the way that Highland Park's defense has played in this second half, I'd be inclined to consider the field goal and take a lead that is larger than it. Because right now, if you get stopped, the field goal beats you. And Jesuit has shown the ability to drive down the field and get into Noah Magoo's field goal range. They've done that 3 times now in this second half, and they're 2 for 3 on that. Highland Park's going for it, though. 4th down and 4. Peck, option play, cuts up field. Peck, driving forward. Oh, it's going to depend on the spot. The near side is right at the 10. The far side is closer to the line.
No.
He's got to get to the 9 to have the first down. This is very close.
And it looked like the near side. Oh, my God.
They're not even going to measure. Immediately, the referee came through and signaled first down, and I'm shocked that there isn't any sort of measurement, nothing. 1st and goal, Highland Park. The near side line judge, his initial spot was much closer to the 10-yard stripe. Now, the far sideline judge did have a spot that was a little further downfield that would have been closer, but I'm shocked that that was just automatically called a first down without any sort of further consideration.
And I think these two, both line judges, one on the Highland Park side and the other on the Jesuit side, obviously, man, they are inches apart on that spot. Man, we hadn't had a measurement this whole game, especially when there's been anything close. So
that's a fair point.
Yeah.
They've been very consistent with that.
Yeah, hadn't had a measurement.
But
so
man, that looked close. The penalty drops Highland Park back 5 yards to the 14. Still 1st and goal. Clock down to 3:44 and moving. Handoff goes mostly nowhere for Keller Holmes.
Time is definitely becoming an issue here. If you're Jesuit, you have to watch both of these. You have to watch the time.
And they only have the 1 timeout remaining to work with here.
That is maybe that's the thing that's going to become so troublesome, and the reason why Randy Allen is continuing to keep his offense out on the field. He knows that time is very important. This is a big 2nd down.
2nd and 13, clock down to 3:03. They snap it with 7 on the play clock. Peck to the air, pressured. Peck taken down. Jesuit with the sack. Grayson Wambacher takes him down. It's 3rd and goal.
2:47 and counting. A lot of time ticking off, and if you're Highland Park, I am not hiking this ball until I get down to 1 second.
If they did bring it down that low, they could bring it down to 2 minutes and 12 seconds. 2:12, maybe 2:13 before they have to snap it. 3rd down and goal from the 19. Highland Park's done nothing but go backwards since Peck picked up the first down. Rolls to his left, looking end zone. Peck in a double coverage, it's picked. It's picked off and then fumbled. Jesuit jumps back on top of it. There is a flag down at the 19-yard line. It's on Highland Park. Jesuit with the pick. The fumble was recovered by a Ranger, so it will remain Ranger football. 2:07 to play. 1st and 10 for Jesuit, down 2.
So they're going to call it the interception and the fumble. The interception in the end zone, and that he fumbled it, bringing it out of the end zone.
Yes.
Okay.
So the spot is the 9-yard line.
Oh my God, this is what a game. Situational awareness. You catch an interception in the end zone, boy, you would hope that he would down it there to bring the ball out further. But just the guy trying to make a play.
From the 9, Peters right side, bobbled but caught, hauled in by Jack Yeski. Plenty of time here for the Rangers. A pickup of 6 on the first play of the possession. Over the middle, not much doing there for Dolan Hedrick, maybe a gain of a yard. And Hedrick is down after the play.
No, it looked like he went down awkwardly. I don't know if it was an ankle or a knee, but Dolan Hedrick is hurting on the far side of the field.
He was grabbing for his left knee immediately, even before he had been brought down by Clark Cosby. It will be 3rd down and 3 out of the injury timeout. Hedrick back on his feet. And that's a great sign to see him jogging off under his own power. Certainly a bit of a limp, but getting better as he goes. Hedrick has had a nice night tonight, a couple of big plays, including one that led to the first touchdown today for Jesuit. 3rd down and 3. 100 seconds left here on the hilltop. Jesuit down 2, but with the ball. Peters near side, right on the money, but in and out of the hands of his intended target, Henry Beret, and it's 4th down.
And initially that looked like Beret had the catch. Beret getting out into the flat. And that's great defense by the Highland Park Scots. This crowd on hand, about 15,000. And they have definitely gotten their money's worth here at SMU.
This is a game that has been predicated on defense. 4th and 3, Peters flushed from the pocket, taken down. Highland Park with the sack. The Scots will take over on downs, and they're a minute 24 away. No timeouts, one timeout for Jesuit, but that won't be enough. Highland Park with the defensive stop in a game that we thought was going to be a track meet turned into a defensive slugfest, fitting for it to end this way. Peters flushed from the pocket, and the sack shared by 2 Scots. Jack Morse was one, and Anders Korn the other.
That's a great job by Morris coming up the field. He just abandons his linebacker position and coverage as soon as he sees Peters coming out into the flat. That's a great job by that defense staying in their lane, but that was more of a coverage sack also because there was no one open on the back end.
Peck bulling his way forward. No kneel down from Warren Peck. Give him 9.5 on the carry. The Rangers still with just that one timeout to work with. But it matters little at this point. Really, the only thing that Highland Park could do wrong here is score.
Wow. What a game. This has been an incredible game. The full moon overhead. I figured something special was going to happen.
2nd down and a yard. Clock down to 38 seconds. Peck bowling his way forward. And Highland Park does not need to snap it again. The play clock at 32, the game clock at 29. Highland Park with a 2-point lead, and they do not need to snap the football again. Their whiteout student section waving goodbye to the Rangers. Highland Park in a shocking defensive slugfest between two of the highest scoring teams in North Texas, wins it by 2. 15-13 the final. The Scots top the Rangers.
Man, what a great game, and a game that was kind of coined as being a offensive game with two great quarterbacks. That was what our pregame was all about. We expected this to be a shootout, high-scoring game. Ends up being 15-13. Jesuit had plenty of opportunities in this game to come back and get a victory. Man, it was all about the ebb and flows of this game. Man, a lot of ups though for Jesuit. They had, like I said, plenty of opportunity, but this Highland Park defense, when they needed to get a stop, they did exactly that. And on that last play, can't say enough about that linebacker, Jack Morse, and his ability to flush out Charlie Peters and get the sack. Man, even in coverage, these guys on the back end doing everything. Geese, McCallum, all of these guys, the safeties, they shielded and bracketed this Rangers offense off. And that was more of a coverage sack to me, Mike, on that last play, because Peters was just looking at no one. There was no one open.
Yeah. Charlie Peters, the leading passer in North Texas in 6A, over 1,500 passing yards on the year, and Highland Park held him to 14 for 27 for 174 yards and a touchdown.
And that's just good. That's just good defense by HP. And what they showed me tonight is that they are a team that they definitely can ride behind that defense. They have a defensive front that is relentless and continues to come after. They presented so much pressure on Charlie Peters and just didn't allow him to have those good passing lanes that he was used to. But I tell you what, for the Rangers, this is one of those losses, man, that you go into a bye week and you look at this film, you're going to ask yourself, you know, did we have opportunities to win this game? And the emphatic answer is going to be yes. And you know, if you can clean some of this up, they still have an opportunity in district. They still have an opportunity to get into the playoffs. They have pretty much one of the better quarterbacks in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
And a guy that you can ride his hand. I'm really impressed by Charlie Peters. And even with them losing their star wide receiver, they still have a bunch of weapons.
This is a game that has become a big rivalry on the baseball diamond, on the lacrosse field. This was only the 7th meeting all time on the football field.
Surprising to me.
When they played last year, it was the first time in over 20 years. And again, only the 7th time all time that these two programs located so close to one another have ever played. But now that Highland Park's back at the 6A level, they are so close, it feels logical that the UIL might keep them in the same district. This kind of feels like a burgeoning rivalry. And we see that with the way that Texas high school football reconfigures the districts every couple of years, this happens commonly for a rivalry to just kind of spring up out of nowhere. Melissa Lovejoy jumps to mind. This kind of feels like one of those that, hey, this might become a thing in the coming years.
Well, I got to invite you to Jesuit in Highland Park lacrosse, because
you aren't kidding about that.
It's a legit thing, okay? But you're football-wise, yeah, this is definitely one that they have to continue to do. Did you see this stadium? 15,000 in attendance for a high school game. And no way they would have been able to have this at Jesuit Stadium. There would have been people out on the track to watch this one. Just a great environment, and between two great teams, they competed all the way to the end. I really got to say for Jesuit, when they got the ball in the second half, they were a team on a mission. They came out saying, look, we got to get scores. We got to make sure that we pull ahead. We got to steal some of this momentum. And Magoo gave them an opportunity. I do believe it was that 46-yarder that went wide right that was the difference. Had plenty of leg, but hey, it went wide right, and that was the game. They say football is a game of inches, and you saw it play out right there.
That was just how close Jesuit was to a win tonight. It was just that close. A stat that blew my mind when I looked back through the history of Randy Allen earlier this week. In his entire time at Highland Park, this is now his 25th season coaching the Scots. He's never had a single season where he's had 3 losses.
Wow.
Every year has been either a 0, a 1, or a 2 in the loss column.
That's unbelievable.
It was on the table tonight for him to take his second loss of the year in late September. And unless they went and won a state championship, he'd have 3 losses this year. But Highland Park pulls it out tonight and keeps alive the potential anyway for that stat. The problem is now they've got to go run the table through district, and they've got a big one, a huge one, coming up against Berkner 1 week from tonight at Highlander Stadium. You can bet Highlander Stadium's going to be bumping for that one with all that's going to be on the line in that football game, as Highland Park now, with this win, has a chance to get themselves back into the district championship conversation.
No, this is man, great atmosphere for this game, and that stat that you just gave is that's crazy. I mean, no other way to say it, especially with a guy that has been coaching as long as Coach Randy Allen. Man, a great victory, gutsy victory for the Highland Park Scots and their ability to pull that out. Man, they had plenty of opportunity to lose it. They put it on the backs of their defense, and those guys really came up big all across the board. But that secondary forcing Charlie Peters to hold on to that ball on that 4th down, and their defense got them the victory tonight.
Just an incredible effort from both defenses in a game that we thought truly, in talking with some folks from Jesuit before the game, one of the potential scores that was thrown out there was 48-45.
Yes.
And it was a very believable potential final score in this football game before we kicked it off. It did not play out that way at all tonight. Both defenses came to play tonight, and it was a slugfest all night long. Take a look ahead on the Friday night football schedule. What's to come as we move into the month of October? Next week, that could be a heck of a football game. Number 1 gunner, the Tigers, a perennial juggernaut, at home against realistically the only team within their district that has a shot to beat them this year, the number 9 team in the state, the Bells Panthers. Then we get the number 1 team in the state in 5AD1, the defending state champions in 5AD1, the Aledo Bearcats, on their home field against Burleson Centennial. Centennial looks like they may be that second best team in the district this year, ahead of Denton Ryan and the biggest threat to the Bearcats this year. Everman and Mansfield Summit on October 20th. The big one, the big one, Duncanville and DeSoto, October 27th. That game's so big, the assistant coaches from Jesuit were talking about that game today on the sideline before kickoff. That's how big Duncanville DeSoto is, October 27th. And then Prosper and McKinney to round out the regular season. That, too, should be a special football game. Very well may be a district championship game.
Mike, could you please tell the general manager I'm sorry? I didn't mean to. He had the Jesuit shirt on. I swear, I thought he was lost. He came in here. How many people walk into the press box and ask us, do you know so-and-so? We have that happen all the time. I did not know. I mean, Clay, help me out here. I'm a little embarrassed, okay? I am. And before we sign off, I just want to say,
if it makes you feel any better, and I'll just clip this moment right here and send it to him tomorrow morning. If it makes you feel any better, Clay had a similar reaction because Clay texted me like, hey, is this our guy?
Oh, my God.
He wasn't sure. I told you guys he was coming tonight, but I didn't show you a picture of, hey, this is who to expect.
You set us up, Mike. Thank you so very much.
Thank you once again to Brad Ramsey for stopping by the broadcast booth tonight, the general manager of WFAA and the father of a Jesuit sophomore Alex Ramsey, his little brother Brady, on his way up through the ranks as well, and will be a Jesuit student here in just a couple years' time. And we appreciate Brad stopping by tonight. The folks in the YouTube comments want Brad to come back and put the headset back on, and maybe he'd have been the lucky charm for Charlie Peters to be able to move the chains there on that 4th down and go down and get a game-winning field goal for Noah Magoo, but it wasn't to be tonight for the Jesuit Rangers. Heckma Harrison, your final thoughts. Another special football game. We've been getting spoiled this year with really tight, intense, close football games down to the wire, and we got another one tonight.
You know what, and I just got to say, echo what you just said. We're spoiled, and every game that we've called so far this year has been an instant classic, a great game. And, man, we just have to add this to the list of the great Friday night football games on WFAA Plus, and we are just going to continue trucking on as we make our mark on another stadium and move on to the next one.
15-13, the final score tonight as Highland Park gets the win by 2 over Jesuit in what certainly seems to be a rivalry that has been born again just in the last couple of years. Our thanks to the entire Friday Night Football crew, our director Clay Marshall, photographers Graham Rayner and Wade Reeves, digital coordinators back in house Pete Friedman, Jay Wallace, and Paul Wedding, graphics coordinator Emil Moralda, our producer Andrew Seeley cutting halftime highlights, and the one and only Heckma Harrison alongside. I'm Mike Leslie. So long from the hilltop. The final score one last time, 15-13 in favor of Highland Park. Warren Peck and Wilson Axley with the 2 first-half touchdowns that stood up as the Scots defense made it stand. All our Friday Night Football broadcasts stream live and are archived on the WFAA YouTube channel and on the WFAA Plus app. This has been a proud presentation of WFAA TV.